Man is created and left to discover himself, and on the road to this discovery, he experiences the creations of his own imaginations, which ultimately show him the truth and lead him to real freedom. There is an interesting myth in regard to the creating of man, which may serve to point out this fact. It is said when the gods decided to make man and make him a divine being, they held a long discussion as to where would be the best place to hide his divinity. Some of the gods suggested that it be hidden in the earth, but others argued that someday man would penetrate the earth and so discover himself. It was then suggested that it be hidden in the depths of the sea, but this idea was rejected, for man would go under the sea and there discover his true nature. It was next suggested that his real nature should be deposited somewhere in the air, but this was also rejected, for he would surely fly through the air and find himself. After a long discussion, it was finally agreed that the best place to hide man's divinity would be in the innermost nature of man himself, this being the last place he would look to find it. This discovery would not be made until he had had all the experience necessary to complete a well-rounded life. The word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. Of course, this is a fable, but how clearly it sets forth the reality of the case. The word is really in our mouths, and every time we say I am, we are repeating it, for I am is the secret of nature and the emblem of eternity. And this last little passage, I just wanted to share, just reading in the sunlight, fresh out the sunlight. The unity of all body. Our bodies are one with the whole body of the universe. Seeds, plants, cabbages, and kings are all made of the same substance. Minerals, solids, and liquids are made from the primordial substance, which is forever flowing into form and forever flowing out again into the void. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. This book is called The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And yes, it's everything is made of the same substance. That's why I'm constantly talking about the amino acids. Like our bodies are made of amino acids. The plants are made of amino acids. The animals are made of amino acids. And, it's like we're fighting through this separation and this feeling of sickness and fatigue and feeling like we don't have energy in the body when we just don't understand where the elements of our body come from. Where does the elements of the cell come from? How am I going to battle my mental health and get past this fatigue if I don't understand what my body is made of? My body is made of this light, the primordial substance. One of the best books I ever read was Oxygen by Nick Lane. He's a biochemist, and I think he teaches biochemistry at Oxford University. He's British. He's over there. So, he talks about the primordial substances, how the amino acids, how they come from space, the evolution of our bodies, like how we came to be. And it's like, we're all made of the same substance. We all have these beautiful little animal cells. And it's so gorgeous. It's gorgeous, how we go out into the light and we communicate with this primordial substance within us. And then this book, it talks about how does man discover who he truly is, How is it that we can, go through these seasons of depression and feelings of like major separation and disconnection. And then sometimes, we become one with the universe. We start to love everything around us. The colors seem more vibrant. We have meaning and purpose, How is that? And like, what is the interaction of our biochemistry with the rest of the world? Depression doesn't like sunlight. Depression doesn't like sunlight. Darkness and separation do not like light, So I'm about to go back into the sunlight and, communicate with my body and continue reading this book. I love this book. It's called Science of Mind. I found it at Barnes & Noble by Ernest Holmes. It's called the complete edition, so I guess it just has like a bunch of little passages. It's not just clearly one book, which I like, because it's like small passages, and sometimes it's easier to read a small passage than to read a book with like long chapters. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope this video is helpful for you. Don't forget how powerful of a biochemist you are. You are created of light. You exude light all the time. You're so beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to go. You can like, share, and subscribe if you found this helpful. But as always, I wish you the best of luck.